Hello, welcome to the Nourish Your Community Healthy Eating Playbook video. In this video, we will provide tips and tools to help with a Feel It to Play 60 funding application when choosing the Nourish Your Community Play. But before we begin, I want to remind you that this is a competitive grant process, and not all applications will be approved for funding, even if they meet the requirements. Applications that build the case for sustained change in their school with both the healthy eating and physical activity play will receive funding preference. Nearly 75% of teachers surveyed have students who regularly come to school hungry, which is associated with trouble learning, getting sick more often, and being less likely to graduate than their well-fed peers. With a focus on food insecurity, the Nourish Your Community Play provides students with multiple opportunities for service learning and community volunteer work through starting a breakfast program, instituting a weekend backpack meal effort, or building awareness in the community about the summer meals program. Schools will learn how to connect with local food pantries, create a food pantry at school, and get involved in understanding the community's needs and resources. But we're going to start with Nicole, a program advisor from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, who is going to tell us how she implements this play using a program called Pints to Gallons. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. My name is Nicole Edmondson, and I am a Feel It to Play 60 program advisor at Robert Frost Elementary School in Sioux Falls. It is a school with about 600 students this year, and this is the second year that we have implemented our Pints to Gallons program. This year we raised $1,136 that went to the food pantry in order for them to purchase milk for the Feeding South Dakota Food Pantry, and that was part of our Nourish Our Community Play for the Feel It to Play 60 program. So we utilized the help of Midwest Dairy Council, Dean Foods, which is located here in Sioux Falls, and Feeding South Dakota. And then we participated again in the Pints to Gallons Challenge, and we also celebrated the National Nutrition Month, which was in March. Dean Foods donated clean half-gallon milk jugs and gallon milk jugs to each of our classrooms that we use to collect coins. And the Wellness Council, or our Feel It to Play 60 students that are our leaders in our school, held a contest between the classrooms, and the class that raised the most amount of money won a catered breakfast from a local grocery store here in town. So the Wellness Council went to each classroom. You can see a picture of them standing there with the recyclable bags, and in those bags they gave each classroom a gallon milk container and a half-gallon milk container, and they explained the program to each of the students in the classroom. This year we added a special edition. The Wellness Council read the book by Lois Brandt called Maddie's Fridge that talked about food insecurity, and I think it really hit home to the students the need for them to donate their coins to the food pantry because many students don't have that opportunity to have dairy in their diet. Then they challenged the students to fill up the half-gallon milk containers, and once those were full, they would pour them into the gallon milk containers. We did that for a week long, and at the end of the week, the Wellness Council went back to the classrooms and collected the gallon containers. Then we took a field trip to the bank where the bank counted the change, and then they made a check out to our food pantry. Later in the month, we took the Wellness Council to visit Feeding South Dakota, or our food pantry, and they were able to take a tour and ask questions and then present funds to that facility. So the project helped ensure that local families that are in need have access to nutrient-rich milk. And on top of that, the project also bridged the Feel It to Play 60 program from the school into the community and provided the students leadership opportunities. So like I said, this is the second year that we've chosen to do that play. Last year we raised $2,300 for Feeding South Dakota to purchase milk for the food pantries. Just a side note, last year we had about, I'd say 200 more students at our school than we do this year. So we have had two very successful campaigns within 2 years. This is a campaign that the students look forward to each year, And I would suggest working with your local Midwest dairy representative, your food bank, and the milk processors in your community to help get it started. It was just a easily run program, and it was very beneficial to not only the students of our school, but also to our community.
Thank you, Nicole. Sounds exciting. Now here are some application tips to help you with your application. Consider holding a pints to gallon campaign. Working with your local food banks for food drives multiple times in the school year, like pints to gallons, where school partners with the school food bank to collect loose change to purchase milk for the food bank, or hold a fundraiser and give the proceeds to your local food bank. Check with your school administrator and consider starting a school-based food pantry. You could work with your school nutrition director to begin or promote the summer food service programs, or ask your school nutrition director about starting an after-school meal program. Assist your local food bank to begin a weekend backpack program. Ideas on what to purchase could include pints to gallon campaign supplies, storage bins to hold food for food drives throughout the school year. Remember, we are looking for sustained change in the school. Shelving or startup equipment to begin a school-based food pantry. Art supplies to create posters to announce a food drive, and we allow up to $300. Soft-sided coolers for summer food service programs. We want to make sure that the hot foods are served hot and cold foods are cold at remote summer food service sites. Or even portable transportation equipment for summer food service sites or after-school meal programs. Be sure to check with your school nutrition department to help with planning for these programs. Items that we will not fund include food purchases for donations, backpack programs, or meals, or any wages or salary to staff school-based pantries or weekend backpack programs. If you have any questions on how to enroll your school or sign up to be a program advisor, contact the Feel It to Play 60 help desk at the number provided, or email help@feelittoplay60help.com. But remember that this is a competitive grant process, and not all applications will be approved for funding, even if they meet the requirements. The applications that build the case for sustained change in their school with both the healthy eating and physical activity play will receive funding preference. Thank you.